Joining us in the kitchen today is Jerry Stackhouse.
2 decades in the league, averaged almost 30 points one season, and famous for...
He'll put these hands on you.
Let's get started with Jerry. How would you describe what it was like to grow up one of 11 kids?
It was cool. I mean, I was the baby of the family, so I ate first. So it didn't really matter. You know, Mama made sure I ate, but it was great because I had older brothers, 7 older brothers, and I knew what it was to fight for everything that I got. I mean, they didn't give me anything. They would beat me up, you know, push me down, knock me down. Didn't matter. Even when I got older, they made it even tougher on me. So it helped prepare me for what was ahead of me as far as competing, you know, for something at high school, competing for something at the college level, and for competing for something at the professional level.
Well, you talked about having to fight for everything, having older brothers. When you say fight for everything, do you mean fight for everything with your older brothers?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, one of my brothers, the closest to me, my next oldest brother, you know, we stopped playing against each other. I mean, when I was like in high school, because it just, you know, we would start fighting. I mean, he was so competitive. You know, he felt like he was supposed to beat me because he was the older brother, and I felt like I was a new kid on the block and ready to show what I could do. So it would always just kind of lead to fisticuffs. So now we only, whenever we get on the court, it's together.
Well, you have a reputation as being someone who wasn't afraid ever to throw hands. So give me a numerical answer to this question. The number of times in his pro career that Jerry Stackhouse got into a fist fight with a teammate was?
Nah, probably, I said, man, it might have been 5 times. Maybe 5 times. You know, all in the heat of the battle, man. It's part of the game.
Give me the most memorable one, though. Give me the one that you remember the most.
I try to forget them, honestly, but I guess probably the one that probably gains a little more attention than the others was the kind of the Kurt Snyder, you know, incident in Utah. You know, we was in the game. He gave me a cheap shot, and for whatever reason, I just kind of lost it. I wasn't worried about the game anymore. As soon as the game was over, I went and got in some sweats, and I just waited for him in the tunnel, and I was just gonna see, did you really feel like giving me that cheap shot or what? You know, so you know, we had our moment, and like I said, after we kind of got into it a little bit, I saw him maybe the next year. He was playing with the New Orleans Hornets, and he came up to me. The strangest thing I ever seen. The guy said, "I really needed that." And I really needed. I was frustrated. I was going through a lot with Coach Sloan, and you know, us getting into that, and you putting them hands on me like that. I really needed it.
He needed a beating.
Jerry, as I understand
craziest thing I ever heard.
As I understand it, you made the man bleed, and he told you that he needed to bleed.
He needed it. I mean, it was the strangest thing I ever heard. I mean, because I was like, when he was walking toward me, we were kind of passing each other in the tunnel. And as he was walking directly to me, you know, I done closed my hands, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't sure what he was coming to do, but then he just stuck his hand out, and then we just started talking, and it was, like I said, the weirdest thing I ever had with anybody that I had an altercation with.
Well, you said these fights are all good, but it can't be all good to the guys that wind up getting beaten up. Is there any one of these fights that you regret?
I don't know if I regret any of them, but I mean, I say the one with Leitner that was on the plane, kind of over a card game, and he was just kind of talking, kind of came out of his mouth a little wrong to me, and that was my guy. You know, we was together all the time. You know, every day after practice we was going and, you know, getting food and frying food. We was both living by ourselves at the time, and it just so happened that everybody made it seem like we hated each other because we got into this. But the next day, we were right back together. He had a black eye, but we was back frying shrimp and cooking salad. So like I said, I forget about it, man. If you hold on to it, it's on to you.
Hold on,
it's not on
he had
me.
the black eye, though. You didn't have the black eye.
Did he forgive you, or did you tell him that he needed to forgive you?
He forgave me because he knew he was wrong. He knew what he said to me.
What did he say?
There's a couple words. There's a couple words that you just don't say to another man. Or don't say to this man. If you say it to this man, then we got problems. And he said one of them, and there it is.
Well, let me ask you this, because coming out of college, I don't think people realize this until you had that unfortunate encounter with Jeff Hornacek at the Delta Center. And he seemed totally shocked. And now we just got to take this as a given. But after that, did people quickly realize that you might not be the guy to mess with?
Nah, I don't know. I mean, I just think that was another incident. I don't think in any of these situations, I don't think I started any of them, man. I did not start any of these situations. I could very well have gone this whole 18 years without having one altercation if it was just because me, instigating this stuff. All this stuff, I'm retaliating, I promise. Jeff Hornacek was telling me about how bad we were and all this during the game. I didn't think that this guy talked like that. He looked like a little choir boy. But he was giving it to me, and the frustration just overflowed.
I need to clarify some things here, okay? Because we really like you, and we think you're a badass, but I feel like we're putting you in a bad spot here where we're talking about your life, and all we're talking about is the fights, and you're like, I'm an adult now. That's not who I am anymore.
That's not who I am. I got kids now, man, but at the same time, it's my past, so it's a part of who I am.
All right, now there's one legendary story about you and Tyler Hansbrough in a pickup game when Tyler first got to North Carolina and him taking the ball away from you, dunking and looking at you and screaming, weight room. Did that happen?
Weight room after he dunked on you.
Man, lies don't care who tell them. Lies don't care who tell them.
That's not true. That story's not true then.
But I mean, I love Tyler. He's I might remember doing something like that to him. But I don't remember him doing anything like that to me. That's how stories, when you win National Player of the Year and they retire your jersey and all that stuff. These some of these things come out of the woodworks. But best thing I could say, ask Tyler.
Yeah, how would that have worked out if it had happened?
Oh no, Tyler might not be Tyler.
Tyler would be erased. Tyler would no longer be in the league.
Tyler might not, but I've heard that, man, coming out with Kobe. I heard that Kobe was just beat me one-on-one when we was playing in Philadelphia. And we did play one-on-one a lot, and he did win a game. But he wasn't like he was just pounding me every day. It wasn't happening. But that's the type of when kind of your lore grows and everything. Those some of the stories that come out. But like I said, the best thing to answer that, instead of me answering it, go ask those guys.
Jerry, my father has a question for you. Go ahead, Poppy.
Poppy, that's my guy right there, man. Y'all been all this time. I'm missing Poppy.
How are you, Jerry?
Good, Poppy. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Go ahead, Poppy. Ask your question.
I like you better than Dan anyway.
You like me better than these two guys?
Everyone does.
I heard that you're a big singer. Can you sing me a little of your favorite love song?
You're a singer?
Today I'm just a lonely man, but tomorrow I'll be a king. A little something.
That was excellent.
That was pretty good.
Excellent. He did that for my dad, a lover and a fighter.
Hey, I don't do that for anybody. That was just for Poppy.
Just for me. I like that.
On request. I can't believe he asked you. I can't believe you did it, but I'm grateful for both. Thank you for being on with us, Jerry.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Gracias, Jerry.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Take care, Bunny.